Hello YouTube and welcome back to the channel here today. Today we're going to be reading a little bit more of Land of the Lustrous. Very excited to be back here for another chunk of the journey, of the saga of Foss, whatever else you want to call it. There's a land, they're lustrous, it's pretty good. YouTube comments, wasting no time here of course. Again, this was meant to be the shorter week. I'm going to set the expectation right now that this is probably going to be a shorter video, especially after last week's was pretty long. Got over 2 hours in the end, I think. So, I don't know. We'll see. I'm going to record until I feel satisfied, I guess. So, yes, first comment here from Iwayuru, kind of going into last week's comment in a weird way. Me and my reaction to the moon reveal, I guess. I think that's more me than, anybody else. Anybody else's expectation or reaction to said scene. I think for a long time on the channel, I've criminally underreacted to a lot of things. I don't know, man. Maybe I'm not cut out for this whole reaction thing. I don't know. I just try to be my genuine self, I guess. Yeah, like again, I've spoken about it on the channel before. I don't react, even though it kind of hits me sometimes. Anyway, not getting into it. What I should get into is the I guess, status of the series, I guess. There was a lot of hiatuses and this thing came out monthly. And again, it kind of goes into this comment here too. Like, I feel like I'm lagging behind a little bit. I feel like I'm going through this at a pretty slow pace, that I'm being pretty deliberate and all that kind of stuff. But you got to remember that these things were monthly. People had to ruminate on a chapter for a month at a time. Sometimes there was long breaks in between that as well. This is a long-running series that is, held its fan base for a very long time. They're kind of used to waiting. So I guess I shouldn't feel bad about moving through it at my own pace as well, considering, again, long-time fans will be used to that. I do think there's room on the channel one day for me to go into Nier in a big way and explain how cool it is. Like, I mean, I really like the original. Automata's my absolute jam, though. I love Automata. I think it's fantastic. Both are narratively fascinating though too, obviously, like holy shit. And yeah, as I said last week as well, I feel like there's a lot of thematic crossover here, a lot for sure. And yeah, I'll play fast and loose a little bit because I feel like it's related. I wanted to go into this stuff, right? How do I explain this? Because it's kind of linked into the near stuff. It's almost like there's something intangible overall that is dragging these entities back to human desires, wants, needs, even though they've transcended them. And again, we kind of go into it with, it's almost this Buddhist stuff, right? It's not uncommon in media to present themes of wanting to escape the wheel of birth and sort of reach enlightenment or nirvana or transcend in some way, for sure. Here's the catch, right? I think in both this and in Nier in a lot of ways, they've already kind of transcended. But to what end? And they're still holding on to the vestiges of the past. Is it a curse? What is freedom even, right? Again, fascinating questions for sure. And I really liked this part here as well. There's in that whole kind of spiel that Acmea was doing, right? Where he was like, well, we still like poop and shit and love and wake up and go to sleep and all these other things that humans normally do. All those things have something in common whereby it leaves something behind. It leaves some sort of lasting impact. And again, I feel like the same way humanity's curse has been this lasting impact on this world almost, right? Humans on a level want to prove that they've been somewhere, right? And prove that they existed and didn't just simply be. There was a point to being. And again, that's incongruous with the forms we now share. I don't know. I don't know where the show's going to land on this where the story's going to land on this. We're going to have to wait and see. But I'm in for sure. Like, because again, attach that whole thematic idea that I'm pontificating into whatever the hell's going on with Sensei, right? He's this guy that's, decided to throw out his function. What is humanity's function? If humans were a robot, aren't we just robotically doing all the things that kind of he listed before as well? Like, Is Sensei the only one that's truly woke? Is he the only one that's truly doing this shit for the love of the game? But then kind of no, because he just makes a bunch of gems because he's depressed or something, has no mates. I don't know what he does, but yeah. Point being, keep this whole theme. What's the point of everything? What's humanity's tie into this? Blah, 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 blah. Line that up with Sensei in a big way when we find out more about him. And do we truly believe this whole he can't tell us the truth because of his programming type angle? I don't believe that shit. I feel like he doesn't want to say. Just a couple clarifications back up here as well. So Acmea's glass, it's bismuth crystals, which are colorful. So less brutalist in the architecture, less like concrete slabs and more 70s psychedelic, very colorful, flamboyant. Even linking into that a little bit, where I feel like we get a little bit of like maybe 60s into 70s disco party nightclub type vibe there towards the end. Again, it's a sequence, that whole sequence, like meeting him and having that conversation for the first time. I'd love to see it animated. I feel like I said that last week as well. And this one must have slipped my mind because I definitely didn't know we had obsidian. I don't know, man. Last week me was on some shit. Oh yes, I guess I should talk about this human DNA type thing. The little spunk in the jar or whatnot. Very interesting thing to follow thematically. Foss saying that it makes him sick. Again, that's like human juice. It's incongruous with me. Blah, 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 blah. Is this anything? Probably. The clouds. I feel like the clouds are something that I probably should go back and have a larger look at the rest of the manga about as well, because I feel like it might have been there previously too. But yeah, definitely in the shape of that human guy. And at very, very important moments where Foss is making very, very important decisions. For sure, for sure. Just some etymology here as well. Acmea is a plant genus and comes from the Greek word spear. And there's some more stuff associated with it too that I'm sure we'll reveal in time, but I don't know. I feel like that's apt a little bit. They're using spears pretty often, sure. I feel like Cicada is the biggest and best example of what I feel like Ichikawa does really well with the series overall, which is, again, the balance, right? It's all about the balance. It's never too dull for too long. It's never too much for too long. It's never too funny. It's never too serious. It's just right there in the middle. We're hidden like a nice Goldilocks. And again, it shows a great aptitude for understanding pacing and writing. It's very, very good. It's very, very, very good. I feel like this is a really fascinating kind of whole paragraph too, going into how much of Foss's manipulations in the here and now is Lapis coming through, or Foss, or whatnot. Specifically the Cinnabar stuff, and this is what I probably missed largely from last week because I kind of skipped over the last chapter in not a cool way. There's a point, and it's a pretty pronounced point, right? The final straw here. So the last attempt of Foss to get Cinnabar to follow to the moon, because again, we must remember this is just all part of Foss's plan. Foss kind of doesn't even care who goes. It's just numbers based and seeing if we can get a kind of reaction out of Sensei. What we say to Cinnabar is they can fix you there by eliminating the poison. Now, that is reminding everybody that's the exact opposite of what Foss wants to do, right? If we find something that Cinnabar can do after removing the poison that only Cinnabar can do, that it's no longer something Cinnabar can only do. We're removing Cinnabar's unique identifying factor. Just a quick aside here, but it's probably worth noting as well. The inverse of this, is there something that the previous Foss could only do? And in the process of changing, in the process of evolving, in the process of whatever we're doing, has that one thing been lost, right? Because again, on surface level for Cinnabar, removing the poison would be an improvement, right? Would be, would take away a weakness, would, especially if you kept adding more strengths on top of that. Again, completely different person, but a better person. But to what end? Are you losing what made you unique in the first place in doing so? I don't know. It's probably apt to reverse it back on Foss. Have you changed and have you removed your unique identifying factor in the process? And yeah, what Iwayuru here is theorizing is that it's a little bit more of this Lapis manipulative side coming through, and less of this genuine moment that Foss had with Cinnabar earlier in the story. There's a mismatch there. How can we be sure that that moment is even fully remembered for Foss the way that we saw it, right? Like, we can't. Foss has lost that much of himself, you know? And yeah, for sure, pushing some very, very dark buttons with different characters as well. Maybe Lapis was, Lapis was good, but maybe less good than we originally thought, I guess. Definitely conniving. I don't know. Oh yeah, and that's definitely, you know, we've lit the fuse on that one. Alex is going to the land of the Lunarians, and whenever Alex sees Lunarians, Alex goes red Alex Berserk mode against the Lunarians. So probably not great. And I guess that probably spins off into a lot of my larger conversation about what I think's going to happen next. I think, is everybody going to learn the same things that Foss learned? That everybody's dust and then they're not coming back? Because that'll eliminate half their motivations straight away. Or do we have some other plan? Are we going to keep them in the dark somehow? I don't really know. We haven't even really made the journey yet. We're kind of only just meeting with Cicada, so again, we'll see. Closing out the comments here, we have Capella. Very glad we have the name Acmea now. I am too. I'm acclimatizing myself to using it. I think Prince is still pretty pog, though. I like using Prince. Really enjoyed the degrading position of power Acmea had in the scene as it goes on, right? From somebody that is literally running shop, leading Foss up the stairs with one hand, you know, people at his beck and call, to like drinking the night away all alone, needing to be like cheered up by all the Lunarians around him, to put to bed by those around him as well. Like, he just like degrades over the scene. And again, linking that into drinking, linking that into humanity's long and storied history with drinking as well, alcohol and whatnot. It's interesting. It's very, very interesting for sure. Again, there's clearly a point to the Lustrous and the Lunarians acting very similarly. Again, we kind of talked about it down here with the links into humanity overall. And yeah, Foss becoming more and more Lapis coded, I guess, as we continue. Very goal oriented, not really caring who has to go, what's in the way of getting towards that goal. We're just going to kind of do it, locking in very early and wanting to accomplish that goal. I don't know. That's not something that Foss really did very early in the story. It was kind of like make this encyclopedia, and Foss kind of never really got around to it. And now we have, oh, I need to do this really, really difficult thing. Okay, I got a plan in a day, and I got a plan of attack and a new motive and whatnot. It's just very different. The change is evident, right? I love this example here. The Foss from before that almost broke himself apart at the guilt of maybe sacrificing Ghost for finding out more about Sensei, is now literally sacrificing friends. Like, well, not telling them the entire truth and kind of sacrificing them to learn more about Sensei. Just throw more and more and more into it. Like, this gold obviously isn't acting the same way it used to either. Just full-on manipulation mode. We don't give a fuck anymore. I don't know, you took a little taste of the poison, now we're taking a big old swig. It's neither here nor there. It's obviously not going to end fantastically for Foss, if I know anything about storytelling, but we're going to wait and see. Yeah, this Euclase sus thing's kind of interesting too. I wonder if we'll put two and two together when we learn that a bunch of people are gone. It might be like, Foss was acting weird and kind of spruiking the moon and then is mysteriously missing, and so is a bunch of other people. And maybe Sensei will know something as well. Maybe he'll pipe in. I don't know. Maybe that'll lead to some kind of larger conflict between all the kind of Lustrous overall, I guess. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, Foss wasn't being particularly sneaky either, I will say. Very happy this Euclase character is coming a little bit more to the fore. Euc has been in the background a long time and is now actually doing a thing. And yeah, the next one is here. Rejoice, I guess. And yeah, we'll jump right in just after a Patreon shout-out, which I've been forgetting to do with this series. It's something about the manga that throws me, I guess. But yes, you can pay me money. It's linked in the description below if you want next week's episode 1 week early. Should be a longer one than this one, but not too much longer. Yeah, many people have done this, up to and including Mickey, Babbers, AJ, Bananarum, Hamadama-sama, Bisa, Capella, Chobo Ribby, Copley, Dapper Dwarf, Ed, Fancy Question Mark, Fleur Nightingale, Fruit, Fusel, Gloriana Tenebrae, Glyke, Greybeard, Guanal, Gus N, Hans Peter, I'm Mildly Anxious, Ika, Iwayuru, Yanko Yavanen, Jacob R, Jummy Boo, Joran, Kasogtha, Kelvin, Clem, Nosta, Kot Begemot, Lick H, Lou, Marco-san, Mistake L Chen, Molly Weinberger, Mr. Maniacs, Parnek, Pencil Sharp 333, Ragashingo, Ronlad B&K, Saint Lily, Sal, Sam1373, Skeleton, Tentacle Member, Waifu Overdose, Without a Net, Yuki Ali, Zach, Shinchio Yoshi, Akumancer, Binshi, Voodoo Chili, and Aiden O'Brien. Thank you to everybody for giving me money. I enjoy the money. And yeah, I mean, I'll get up that next volume cover and I'll start speaking, I guess. There we have it, folks. Land of the Lustrous by Haruko Ichikawa, Volume 9. And it seems like we're doing this Yuke and Jade v. Foss thing. Foss is looking very imperial here. Looking very like a conqueror, very strident and proud. Don't know what else to say, really. Really like the coloration. Really think the flowers here in the air give it a nice sense of pomp and circumstance. Did I mention near Lunar Tears or anyway? I like it. I like this cover. I don't think it's ultimately too spoilery. It's probably not one of the spoilery ones that people were talking about, but again, we're still going to watch out. I think somebody mentioned 10. I don't know. Might have been on Discord. I never know. Yeah, definitely, again, this sense of superiority here, looking down, very tall figure, Foss, something about like the flowing cape. Again, I said it before, it's giving conqueror, and this seems suspicion from Jade overall, I would say. This seems almost like I'm judging you, I'm watching you, but also like a nice kind smile, hands over the heart as well, kind of like you know, I hope you can change. I hope you're not this forever. I hope we can, you know, go back to the way things used to be. Again, we'll have to see if this is in matching with a lot of the developments. There is also another figure here that is off screen. This is clearly back on, you know, Earth and not in space, not on the moon. So we do come back again at some point. Is that a bowl of soot? I don't understand what's going on there. Yeah, I mean, same old, same old. Seems like we've got a pretty definite split here, though. Pretty cool. Thank you, my good friend Cicada. Yeah, I mean, the one's not on the moon, the one's on the moon. Is this fucking Land of the Lustrous Civil War? Something akin to that? Oh, hang on, no, Sphene and Peridot on the moon, too, so it isn't that definite of a split. I really felt like there was a split here, but maybe not. At least I'm pretty sure Sphene and Peridot on the moon. I was definitely pretty sure of that, actually, so sure. Thought Red Beryl was here too, but Red Beryl isn't even on this page. Kind of got shafted. And this little freak here doesn't even get an introduction. No way. Anyway, I'm focusing on all the wrong things. Let's focus up. Chapter 62, Distant View. Seems like we're all walking onto the thing. Maybe I was fucking blind. I swear to God, Sphene and Peridot were coming along. Hang on. Yeah, I thought that was the implication here. Look at these two. But now in retrospect, going back here, they're definitely not present. But I just didn't think that they were in the frame. Okay. Odd. Huh. So they know about it. Like, Foss asked them to go somewhere. Same with Red Beryl, right? Weird. Because Red Beryl's not here either. So these are just the ones that decided to show up? That's kind of funny. We're doing this ultra secret, ultra illegal like mission. Show up if you dare. 3 of them just like don't show up. I don't know. I guess we'll see what happens. I was confused there evidently, and now that page before makes a bit more sense. Here we have Benny showing Alex around. Watch your step, Lex. Okay, thanks. And then trips regardless. Whoops, falling over. Senior Lex, are you okay? Thanks. That voice. Goshen, you're coming too, but you're so young. Yeah, wait, good point. Goshen's here? What the hell? What the helly? What the... Okay. Goshen's not even here in this fucking panel, though. So Goshen just appears out of nowhere here and now. Yeah, okay. I've been thrown off early, but I'm coming back around. Okay, so Goshen's here and we're not happy about it. I passed by Senior Kangorm's room on my way to bed. I can't be doing this senior thing. Are we going to keep doing this senior thing? I'm going to go like a Kangorm senpai or something. Yeah, because I can't be doing the senior thing. That's throwing me off. That's when I heard about you going to the moon. Was they telling Kangorm to get up and I'm going to go change, so get out of here, pervert. So I want to go too. You just leave Morga like that? Morga will be fine. You young'uns can be scary. Yeah, that's a little bit not great, but sure, you can come along, that's fine. Foss seems really weirdly reacting to it too. Yeah, again, maybe it'll further exacerbate things if it's one of the young'uns. Maybe that'll send Sensei into more of a tizzy, we'll say. Well, whatever. Fine. Now that's settled. Clunk. Now this was the whole Padparasha situation, right? Certainly looks that way, for sure, for sure. Foss looking down at Padparasha briefly, I think. Right? Like, seems to be looking that way. This would be Padparasha in that case. It's hard to tell without the colors, of course. Like this is a visual, because this is also giving me the holes in Padparasha's chest a little bit. Obviously the clouds, sunspots, the black spots, making metaphorical dents in our society. I don't know. There's something there. I like it visually regardless. And it seems like Foss is taken aback for a second, potentially the old Foss coming back through for but a moment, before, listen everyone, if you want to turn back, this is your chance. Kind of that prompted maybe after looking at Padparasha too. And then nobody seems to be saying anything, they're all pretty stunned. Kangorm broadly concerned, sure. Except for Kangorm. Hey, why am I the only one that doesn't get a choice? Well, you're my partner, aren't you? You've got a lot of nerve for a gem who's pretty much been asleep through our whole relationship. Why do we bully Kangorm so? It confuses me. Either way, interrupting the comedy. Foss, don't worry. You're not the only one to blame here. We each made our own decision. Yeah, agreed. Did you, though? Or did you get made to think like it was your own decision? It's definitely an interesting point of conversation. Potentially one that's going on in your head right now. Either way, seems like that we have liftoff. Yeah, look at it. It's like a big old slumber party or something. Oh, they're loving it. Hell yeah. I don't know. It's giving me you know the thing from Nope? It's giving me that a little bit with all the flaps. Don't really like it. And yeah, still like this anxiousness. Yellow's kind of snoozing for a bit. Padparasha's snoozing, but that's kind of been the go for a while. Am I fucking stupid? Rutiel. Rutiel, everybody. Rutiel. Back over here now. Rutiel. And then... no Rutiel. But Padparasha? Needless to say, I read ahead a little bit and found something. Yeah, look at this. We're off in our blob, and then it's Rutiel by his lonesome. Now that I think about it, I can't go to the moon, not with all my responsibilities here, and I definitely can't take Padparasha with me. Without me, who would be here to fix everyone? Sweating it a little bit, obviously nervous. I want to get Padparasha moving again. I want to reclaim that gem's worth with my own hands. I would at least like to get Sensei's permission. If the answer is no, maybe I'll leave Padparasha and go myself. So, okay. I thought that you sent Padparasha as like a sacrifice type thing, right? But you didn't. Why did we take Padparasha then? That doesn't make any sense to me. Because then we go here, obviously going up to Sensei to ask for said permission, goes to ask, is interrupted. Sensei, Foss is gone. So are Dia and Yellow. Several others are missing too. So obviously you missed your little boat, Rutiel, while you were arming and ahhing, and they've taken Padparasha too. And look at Rutiel, fucking straight into action. Hey, yo. This actually looks sick as hell. I love this as art, very angular, very determined from Rutiel. With a great thack, he leaves the premises, straight onto the ground, sprinting very fast. Probably the first time we've seen Rutiel do any kind of physical activity, now that I'm thinking about it. And yeah, I feel like this is the scene where we've seen that Padparasha is missing. Which I feel really stupid for not picking up that Rutiel wasn't here and Padparasha was. So what's the go there? Why bring Padparasha and not tell Rutiel? And yeah, oh my god. Oh no. Oh no, this is suboptimal. Okay. Out of all the hopelessly devoted gems in the story, I feel like Rutiel is probably the most hopelessly devoted. So, sucks to be you? I just want to know a reason why. I'm fascinated. And yeah, obviously hitting Rutiel like a ton of bricks here. Like, this is giving me, like, Foss breaking up with the gold a little bit too. Like, my whole being, the whole thing that I consider me is shattering before my very eyes. My psyche, my hopes, my dreams, my wants, my desires, my humanity. Oh, the humanity. Yeah, obviously a hugely impactful moment. Not something I would do if I wanted to be on Rutiel's good side long term. Either way, I'm bearing the lead. That piece of slag. Oh my god. Rutiel's gone off the deep end. You fucking motherfucker. You piece of shit. You swine. You son of a motherless. And every other superlative you want to add on to that. Rutiel. Uke. The Cape of Emptiness. What are we grabbing here? Some fucking scalpels or something. A weapon of sorts? Boingy boing? Hey, yo. Keep it PG now. Oh, no, it's just, Cicada being very fluffy, apparently. I've never actually touched a Lunarium before. Boingy boing, fluffy fluff. It feels strange. This is Cicada, who is actually very nice despite appearances. You're way too buddy-buddy with the moon people. Kangom's perpetually just pissed off. Fucking take a day off, seriously. I do like, who is this again up here? Goshen. Being very... You know, it's like a kid, very like, oh, this is amazing, this is cool and fluffy and stuff. Not probably realizing the danger that they're in. I don't know. Great question here. That's probably what Yellow Diamond was looking at Padparasha there before as well. Like, Foss, you know what's going on there with Rutiel and Padparasha? Are you sure about this? So, Foss, why did we bring Padparasha? Why did we bring Padparasha? What? Oh. I don't want Rutiel to have to work so hard. So it's like a sacrifice thing, I guess? Sacrifice angle? That's what Padparasha said, right? I don't know. But it sounds like something Padparasha would say. Okay, I guess we need to take it all the way back to the Padparasha conversation, which was volumes and volumes ago now. Which was something akin to Rutiel is devoting too much of his life to trying to save me. I would like Rutiel to go out and live freely without being shackled by my presence and needing to constantly try to make me better and whatnot. It seems like he's devoted, and I don't want him to be so devoted. So it's almost like Foss posing as the bad guy and stealing Padparasha for no apparent reason according to Rutiel, taking all of the blame there, taking the difficult conversation away from Padparasha that he would have had to have with Rutiel, and kind of, taking it on his own terms and doing it that way. Bit weird, but sure. I feel like the interesting part is that Foss almost doesn't even remember this anymore, and it's kind of like slowly coming back to him over time. Like, I know there's a reason why I'm doing this, but I can't quite remember the exact reason. Yeah. I think that's pretty cool. Anyway, I'm sure Padparasha will wake up again at some point and we can cross that bridge when we get to it. Cicada, can we look outside? There's a little hole, a little slit of sorts, which is... don't know why I said that. Oh, okay. We look down at the cape. Little... that little speck there is Bortz, of course. How could I forget? And of course, you must remember it's a Dire Bortz connection here too, for sure. Again, the Dire Bortz thing is kind of fraught too. It's been going on a very long time. They're very close. So being separated like this, I'm finally going somewhere where Bortz hasn't gone before. I'm finally exceeding Bortz in my own little way. But at that same time, we still have this pretty strong connection. Again, remember the whole Shiro fight? That was very pronounced there, obviously. So it's with a heavy heart, but also a necessary evil, I feel, for Dire. And again, Dire you can still, I'm fine. Like, it hurts, but this is something I have to do. That's the kind of vibe, right? Oh, great line too. That gem does stand out, even from this distance. Well, I'm trying to find my own unique identifying thing by going up here, right? Again, just going back here to remind myself, I'm not afraid to hear about the moon. I want to go to a place without boards. I tried everything I could think of, but I could never change. So again, on my own kind of journey of escaping the shadow of boards, I'm going to go up to the moon. That's that kind of attachment there. Must also remember this Benny makeup thing, apparently. Something about your powder didn't come off. Must be moon technology. Resin that never washes off. I kind of admire the Lunarians, which is a odd line. Anyway, yeah, we'll keep an eye on that kind of stuff. I have to jog my memory about a lot of this. You consider yourself too normal relative to Nepti. Sure. And then, yeah, you're being all sus, I remember. Okay, yeah, but it seems like everybody's freaking out down here a little bit. All the ones we're leaving behind, all our significant others, while we go off on this different direction. The Earth getting smaller and smaller as we ascend upwards. And of course, after all these couples here, we have the final couple, of course, that being Cinnabar and Foss, obviously leaving on pretty complicated terms. Again, the rest of the crowd off here in the distance, right there on the point of the cape, while Cinnabar lags behind, but you still spot him all the same. That's definitely something. It's definitely going to come back around to this relationship here in a more concrete place at some point, and we're going to finish that chapter there, chapter 62, Distant View, with, yeah, devastation. Before moving on to chapter 63, High Hopes. Okay, there's a gong. That's cool. And it seems like we're shivering a little bit. We're shaking in anticipation upon making our way to the moon. And they're putting on a big old fanfare for us. That was fast. Huh? Eek! And then it's a big flashing light show. Again, love the angles here. Some really fantastic stuff. Obviously, can see the kind of streams of light coming either direction, playing off of each other. Big old expensive light show for our good friends, the Lustrous, that are showing up here. I wonder if they thought that they'll be greeted by a huge crowd and parade with confetti and, you know, blossoms and whatnot. It can't help but feel a little bit disingenuous, no? At least a little bit. Just some nice paneling stuff here, like how it's kind of outside of the panels, kind of erupting all over the entire page. It's nice. Yeah, you're wearing like the fuck me coat. I don't know what that's about. Welcome back, and greetings, lustrous ones. We're happy to have you. He's combed his hair up for the occasion. He's looking the part. Thank you very much, Acmea. Very, very cool. That's a Lunarian too. It's talking, right? Right. And Foss immediately moving onwards beyond his peers, out towards the procession. Still really loving the lighting here. I think that's some fantastic stuff for sure, for sure. You'd have to imagine this whole is a 2-page spread too with the effect. No, it's kind of everywhere now that I'm looking at it. Again, would love to see it animated. I'm going to keep saying it. Anyway, Acmea, Twitch, would you please not call me by that name? You and your hang-ups. It's embarrassing. Oh yeah, they think names are embarrassing. I remember that. Also, don't look at that. Fuck you, Winra. These are the gems I convinced to come with me. Benny Toy? We're not going to say full names. Benny, Alex, Goshen, Diamond, Cairngorm, Yellow Diamond, and 33 of the Amethyst Twin Crystal. Actually, I'm 84. What? Oh yeah, you were awake. I remember that. Yo, I feel so bad. I just thought that you were the other one. I never really thought about it. I never really thought about it like that. Also, chill out, fucking Cicada. You're being weird. Okay, so this seems like the next big thing. Why did you come along and not your brother, I guess? Your twin? Really? Really? Sorry for mixing you up. Oh no, you were right. I felt bad making my twin go to the moon, so I switched my hair and tried to trick you. And now here I am. I'm sorry for deceiving you. No, I'm sorry. Okay, that kind of came out of nowhere. What was their whole deal again? I wonder how I would go without seeing my twin or whatnot. But then you went as a sacrifice for your other twin anyway, which doesn't make any sense. Because, like, I guess if it's dangerous, you want to sacrifice your life for the other twin, even if they're not here too. Goes to show you're not the only one that can deceive Foss. Hardy, hardy, ha. Anyway, Now we have Acmea dropping Padparasha. We can have a look here. Thank you, General. Of course. He has a name, thank you very much, and it's Cicada. This is Padparasha, who might wake up if we plug up all these holes. It would be best to use minerals from the same family with no inclusions. I understand. I believe we have some lab-grown corundium in stock, or corundum. I remember that from last week. I looked that up. Bring me all our finest warm-colored samples. I will examine the gem personally. Don't be weird, dude. I'm going into battle. I need your finest warm-colored samples. You will have to leave Padparasha with me. Is that all right? Oh, as long as there's no smashing. Don't worry, I won't be pulverizing this one. You inspire me with such confidence. Or any of you. Okay, I mean, would you trust this slimy man? I wouldn't. So yeah, there's been lots of drama. We kind of brought along Padparasha without Rutiel. This is the wrong amethyst. Like, it's all happening. Yeah, this definitely screams, I'm actually going to eat you all. I'm actually going to cook you up and eat you. For sure. So I don't trust him. You may spend your time here as you see fit. What would you like to do about Alex's unique condition? Surely you don't intend to keep that blindfold on. I'll discuss it with Lex. I understand. Lex hasn't spoken a goddamn word, other than like the first page. If you'll excuse me, lustrous ones, I hope you'll make yourselves at home. So what are we supposed to do here? I think we're just watching Sensei now to see if he'll do anything. Why the fuck is everyone here? We're kind of just chilling and checking it out. Little vacay on the moon to see if it'll do anything. Anyway, he's taking the entourage away and taking away the confetti with him. And Foss goes serious mode here a little bit. Obviously a pretty clear delineation between Foss and the rest of the gang too. First, there's something I need to tell you all. Oh my god, Foss. Oh yeah, I mean, that'll do it. Yeah. I mean, Maybe that's the subtext of this whole page now that I think about it. I hope you make yourselves at home, lustrous ones. Like this look at Foss. Foss, you're going to have to tell them now. Foss, are you okay doing that? And then, yeah, the sand and dust on the moon. It's crushed up gem people. It's crushed up lustrous. It makes the moon so beautiful, of course. But obviously this is going to be pretty devastating for a number of people. I would imagine this is yellow. I think this is yellow. Yellow would be one of the ones that's got the most writing on this, right? Wanting to say sorry and all that nonsense. Wanting closure. Is this the closure you really wanted? You mean this is what happened to all the older gems? Yes. Look at them. Clearly all in the same pose that Foss was in upon learning this information as well. All going through this same kind of misery. This same devastation. And Foss is completely okay with letting all of his peers do this again. I would have, I wouldn't have done that. I would have thought that that's personally devastating to me. I'll try to hide this information or try to lessen it somehow. I won't let them go through the exact same experience. Anyway, Foss is on a mission. So yeah, again, we've gone through it. A lot of significance. All the hopes and dreams and fears and our whole life cycle almost of getting stolen away. Our whole society is built around this Lunarian thing, and it's all kind of a sham. They were never coming back. They never could come back. It's all for a far deeper, weirder purpose with Sensei, which, are we going to clue them all into that too? Like, oh my god, Sensei is somewhat culpable for that as well, especially not telling us. Did he know? He must have known. So yes, they were all ground into powder and strewn across the moon. The pieces that we previously took back from the Lunarians gave us so much hope and despair, but they were all fakes. It was all part of the Lunarians' plot. They gave us fake pieces that were made here. That's why, no matter how long we waited, we were never able to repair a single gem. It's all part of the plan I told you about. They plan to get Sensei working again. Hey, come on, do you actually believe everything that Acmea told you? I wouldn't trust a word that Lunarian says. I agree, but not everything I heard was a lie. I asked Sensei directly if he was a tool for the humans, and Sensei confirmed it. Seriously. Okay, I didn't know that you had told them this much. I guess you did that on the trip, or at some other point, of convincing them, or whatnot. I don't really know. I know you told Khan Gorm, I think, but you didn't tell everybody else, I didn't think. I wish I could have asked a lot more questions, but I'm scared of Sensei much, much more so than I was before. I just couldn't do it. Are you sure it's not just because you felt guilty? Is that Kangorm again? Very interesting. Okay. Oh, then we're seemingly doing something with Alex? Sure. I'm sorry I couldn't tell you before we left. I didn't think you would believe me. And what's this? You're like falling apart? Sure. Okay, fair enough. The same way that that Rutiel was falling apart before, the same way that Foss has fallen apart many a time. You're like shuddering here before cracking. Because again, that's the whole reason Alex goes berserker mode as well, is because there was another that you lost at a certain point, and your fierce hatred for the Lunarians is the thing that's driving you and driving this obsession of learning more about them. I don't know if this is the best place to take Alex, to the land of the Lunarians, but sure. Yeah, and kind of everybody's shattering now a little bit. I feel like we saw a little bit back here too, maybe. It's kind of segments of somebody coming off. You're definitely cracking apart. I'll talk to Acme about putting everyone back together. When? What? You haven't already? Well, you know, I needed to get the Lunarians, or actually Acme, to trust me first. Otherwise, it would have been tough to negotiate for anything. I guess that's something that I didn't really consider. Like, Foss didn't really bring up the whole idea of I'll scratch your back, you scratch mine. Like, I'm only doing this so we can get all our friends back. No, you're doing this so you can uncover the secret about Sensei. Like, there's a clear mismatch there, right? You never really thought about it that way. Like, everyone else here is clearly devastated at their lost friends and whatnot, right? Your eyes on the prize. I want to expose Sensei. We're not on that type timing, you know? And I think what we're doing here is that Foss feels somewhat alienated from his peers. Like, oh, I never really even thought about that. And then is fucking off to go do something else. That's kind of something. That's weird. Okay. I guess I really never even considered that either. I don't know. So you're going to find a way to fix everybody up because you didn't consider everybody falling apart. I thought that if they came to the moon voluntarily, if our friends were here with us, if I explained everything and showed that there's a way to fix it, none of them would fall apart. Is it really okay to let that creeper know my ultimate goal? I have to be sure to not let on how important it is. I'll have to choose my words carefully. So yeah, you thought that everybody, again, would be on the same wavelength as you, and they just weren't.
Oh yeah, so this whole part is linking into this, where Foss was able to keep it together, where everybody else is not able to keep it together. Foss is different. What makes Foss different? Is it the Lapis stuff? Is it everything else as well? It's weird. Yeah, again, I didn't think that everybody would fall apart. I didn't think that I was the only one that had it together like that. That's what we're kind of getting at here. That's pretty clear in the cold light of day.
Interesting. Okay, so you're going to go through here, and Pad Parasha's up. Hello, Pad Parasha, how are you? And Dr. Acme is at the ready, pointing to his little diagram here. Here's where I've put all the different kind of bits back into your body. Looking very dashing, I might say, as well. Very shiny. Must have shampooed a lot or something. And yeah, obviously Foss is shocked. And then you swing around very casually. Then yeah, you're Foss, right? Oh yeah, and okay, so you wouldn't know Foss has Lapis's head. Interesting. I recognize your alloy arms already. I can't believe you're really using Lapis's head. It's just like Akbia told me. Would you not call me that? It's embarrassing. Oh, sorry. But you betrayed Sensei? That's a bold move. I thought I warned you to tread carefully. It's too hard to predict what will happen. Imagine how Pad Parasha feels, just like constantly skipping ahead in his own life. Like, I told you this like 100 years ago. What do you mean you didn't act on it? Like, that's such a weird way to live, right? So Foss is stunned a little bit after this. But my body's in better shape than it's ever been. So I give up. So okay, seems like Pad Parasha's back. Maybe for good, we'll see. And Foss is pretty chill about the whole thing. I'll be doing a post-op exam later. I'd like to get some data. Try to avoid any strenuous movement for the next 2 or 3 days. Will do. I'm glad to see you. I really am. And then you're very shocked as well. I guess it happened all very quickly. And then, yeah, there's the question. I'm happy we're bringing this up now because I was worried back here that we weren't going the same direction I thought we were. And I made a big old speech about it, but yes, we are, which is good. You're now asking this question. Can you change gems back from powder too? And then a look, and then the narrowing of the eyes, and then the glasses, the facade kind of floating away into the ether, into the distance. Almost like this doctor disguise that I have on. I'm taking off and I'm going to become the prince again, you know? Yeah, for sure. It's the whole Dr. Kit floating away. It's the whole scene changing. Broken record. I'd love to see it animated. I really would. Apparently he'll try. I'll try. Really? However, it won't be nearly as easy as fixing Pad Parasha. It will take a staggering amount of time to accomplish. Not a problem. Does that cover all of your demands? Yes. You're not a very good negotiator, are you, Foss? And again, back to my point now that it's been confirmed, it is very important to me that Foss didn't bargain to have everybody fixed or even ask the question, even probe that a little bit back in the day. Again, eyes on the prize of the whole Sensei idea, as opposed to, you know, saving my friends that had all died and the thing that everybody else is hyperfixated on. Then allow me to state mine. As you can see, we have not yet returned to nothing. So yeah, I mean, the machine didn't get shocked awake, and Sensei would have known by now, so hardy ha, your plan didn't work. Cool. I was wondering when we we're going to address that. And yeah, he's putting the gauntlet down. I have high hopes that your next move will yield results. There's obviously a little bit of a threat in that. I have high hopes. Because, like, your plan didn't do anything, and now I've got a bunch of your friends here that are kind of our captives a little bit. I promise not to crush them, but I can do a lot of other stuff to them. I don't know. So, yeah, needless to say, this reads as a threat. You better fix something up, Foss. You better fucking get cooking and have some ideas. Interesting. Chapter 64, One Day. One Day International. Seems like we have a Sensei back down on Earth. We've got a similar falling leaves conceit to the kind of confetti, kind of blossom conceit we had earlier in the previous chapter. So that's a nice connection already. And obviously Sensei, in comparison to our good friend Acmea, is not putting on no kind of party. He's a little bit sad. They definitely do have same face too, but I'm pretty sure that's not on purpose. Maybe. Oh no, this is him waking up. Ew, okay. Sensei, you're awake, says Yuke. And then he's locked in. Pretty cool. Kind of. He's always sleeping, Sensei. He's pretty chill like that. And then we have Amethyst 33 over here. I'm sorry. Because you all shattered apart, you know, upon everything happening. The shock and whatnot. So Sensei's locking in. Picking up someone here. Can you walk? Yes. But Red Beryl went to search the cliffs at the shore of Nascency and hasn't come back. Okay, let's go pick her up too. Pick him up too. Rutiel went into the sea at the Cape of Emptiness. Okay, let's go pick Rutiel up too. Very, very cool. I like the all the resin coming off too. He's like a dad. He's picking them up like this, like they're children. It's very funny. Why did they go into the water? Because Bortz went deep into the water too, but there's a bit of tragedy here first. Sensei, I was the first one Foss tried to recruit. If I had, it isn't your fault. Isn't that the same thing that he's been saying like constantly to everybody? Like Foss a lot previous in the story. Obviously a character that's normally pretty composed and switched on like Rutiel, like degraded to crawling on all fours in the ocean, desperately searching for the ones that have gone. That's hitting pretty hard. Like the panic, the like I can almost hear the hyperventilating in the dialogue here for sure. And Bortz went deeper. There's Bortz. Hello, Bortz. I'm gonna pick you up along with the rest of everybody else. You're deep in fucking Mariana's Trench or something. And yeah, from here I'm gonna start clicking everyone back into place, fixing them all up. Thanks, Dad. This is everyone? Seems like everyone to me, for sure. Yo, Melon. We fuck with Melon, dude. Anyway, no one did anything wrong. Kind of noticing the vibe in the room. It's pretty down. Everyone's pretty fucking... They're not happy about it. Cinnabar's all the way off to the side, not fraternizing, as Cinnabar is wont to do. Cinnabar, I'm glad you came. Please come a little closer. Cinnabar scooches ever so closer. That's adorable. Yeah, we like Cinnabar too. Too bad about the whole Foss thing. Anyway, a little closer. There's something that I cannot tell you. There most certainly is. There's something you can't tell everybody, even the audience. But either way, it seems like he's coming clean at least a little bit in the wake of this is a huge situation. He's being pretty calm and really caring about it, really nice. So I don't know. He's been kind of chill. We like Sensei. It's about myself. Everybody looks on quizzically, or quizzically. I don't know how to say that. To you, it may sound impossibly confusing and illogical in the extreme. There are things I am forbidden to communicate, so I cannot tell you everything, no matter how hard I try. But I will tell you everything I am able to, and I hope you will listen. He's coming clean. Again, I'm still watching this a little bit, for sure, but I digress. I wasn't born the same way any of you were. What the Lunarians want is by ancient life forms to, in other words, they want me. I think what we're trying to get across here, I thought that maybe he was self-censoring or something, like a robot, or like, I want to tell you this, but this is the demonstration that I can't tell you that. But I think what we're doing is just abbreviating the story so far to everybody else. So all the other gems here now on the same page that Foss is on, I believe. But hey, the Lunarians want me. Humans are this, by the way, where the split up of the fucking, bone, flesh, and soul or whatnot. And yeah, they want me. I'm the target. I'm the guy. But I can't do it for various reasons. Everything would be solved if I were no longer with you. But I cannot destroy myself, and as you all know, it is extremely difficult for outside forces to damage me. After I was alone on the Earth's surface for many years. Then, one day... This is crazy lore. This is crazy. So my question is this the same point at which he still hasn't been able to pray, or he's been broken? I feel like he's been broken here at this point. So the Lunarians are already trying to get to him and bargain with him and whatnot, and then they notice this is a weakness, that he actually likes the gems. I'm not sure I like this abbreviation thing. I'd rather just have the dialogue there again. Because it's essentially after the sixth impact, or whatever the hell, after the apocalypse, after humanity was wiped out, I was alone on the Earth's surface for many years. Then one day, your kind appeared in a new form of mineral life from this mountain that we've seen previous, where all the gems come from. Who was the first gem, by the by? Do we get to... Red Diamond, apparently. Okay. Red Diamond's kind of fucking scary. Again... Would love to see this animated. Anyway, Red Diamond was the first to be born. Obviously, like the first steps of life. Like a baby animal almost. Like instinctually moving without even really knowing why. Kind of what are almost eyes piercing into Sensei's soul. Reaching out with the one hand. Kind of for a second, Sensei's like, I don't want nothing to do with that. And then they fall over. The physical makeup and structure of this creature were similar to my own, and I recognized it as a life form closer to myself than any I had encountered before. At the same time, its outward appearance and mannerisms shared many similarities with those of the ancient creature's young. I determined that I should take this creature in and provide it with a healthy, civilized lifestyle. I'm going to care for this young gem person. I mean, yeah, kind of a mineral given whatever life is pretty similar to a robot. Probably the closest you're ever going to get to Mr. Prayerbot over here, Mr. Immortal Robot guy. So that's probably something I never really considered fully, is that he's like, I want a friend, and this is the closest thing I've seen similar to me ever. Even when the humans are around, I was kind of different to them. This is pretty similar to me, at least the most similar I've ever seen, so I want to care for it. I don't know, give that a go. You're kind of left here forever as well. What else are you going to do? You have to pick up some kind of hobby. We go into a bit of a montagey sequence here, where Sensei's chiseling the eyes. Very, very cool. Kind of scary, but still cool. Sensei, I believe, is sewing back here. I believe he is sewing. Can't really see it, but he's sewing over there. Very cool. So a civilized lifestyle, you're going to have eyeballs, you're going to have clothes, you're going to eat a cherry, or you're not going to eat a cherry, because I guess they don't really eat. I'm going to teach them, like the good sensei I am, in the fucking mushroom forest or whatever the hell. Why are we different colors? Your red color is caused when nitrogen gets into the crystal structure during the growth process and creates a deficiency in carbon atoms, creating the extremely rare red. I want to be the same as you. And then, lo and behold, we do the makeup resin thing. Very cool. Also, you can't ask this kind of question. Come on now. Be serious. But that made her very happy, or made him very happy. I don't know, it's like Sensei has a little daughter. It's cute. I don't know. I like it. Lo and behold, they go back to the same mountain, and we find a halide mineral made of fluorine and calcium. It's called fluorite. Its chemical makeup is rather different from ours, but let's help. This one is soft. We'll need a facility to provide shelter from sand and dust. We'll carve out that large quartz stone and make ourselves a place to live. The origins of fucking our building too? Let's go. Okay, we find a sibling. That's nice. At fucking Pride Rock. Let's go. And yeah, that skip ahead a few 100,000 years. That brings us to today. You all have given me so much happiness. I want to give you a new pure land. To this day, I've searched for a way to solve all of this, but limited as I am, all I've done is prolong a war of which you are the victims, maintaining a status quo that is far from my ideal. So what's the plan? What are we going to do then? I am truly sorry. As of now, I want you to leave me and go. You beautiful, lustrous life forms. You may follow the gem who was once Foss, one of your own. That is one path you may choose. Is there another path, Dad? I want you to leave me and go. Okay, so he's just gonna fucking... Alright, I've had a good run. Obviously, this thing has come to the end of its course. I'm not gonna want to be around you guys anymore. I'm causing you more harm than good. It's causing a big kind of ripple in society. Big rift there. It's causing people to fall apart and go crazy and run off in weird directions and mourn and do all sorts of weird stuff. So I'm going to take myself out of the equation. Basically, you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. Or, I'm leaving, you guys can stay here, but you're not going to see me again. You can choose to follow Foss, or potentially there's other paths that we'll explore in a next chapter. Thank you, Chapter 64, one day. Today! Okay, chapter 65, today. And we'll see how we go with this one. It's running a little late, but 4 chapters is kind of lame, so we'll see. But I've had a lot to talk about, obviously, too. Just seems kind of a little bit less coming off of last week. Either way, today. I like the backdrop here, too. Kind of us just... all these sheets on the ground, helping to put ourselves back together, helping to put the resin back on. That same action that I've done so many times before that traces back to your, first ancestor. Also like the sunset here, I feel like it's really apt. At least I would imagine it's a sunset with the long shadows and whatnot. Obviously sun setting. Their relationship, chapter titled Today. Sunset is the end of a day. All that kind of stuff. The things I have done to you can never be forgiven. I recommend that you follow your fellow gems and remove me from your lives. We're letting the moment sit in a cool way. Everyone's staring at Sensei. Of course, Cinnabar. Very close connection between Cinnabar and Sensei, of course. And this seems to happen a lot. Cinnabar goes to say something, and then somebody else calls out. Bortz, in this case. Foss is not one of us. And this stuns everybody. Attention on Bortz, of course. That traitor found easy targets to test and deceive. It was devious and arrogant. I could never follow such a coward. Oh my god. Who has to remember, Sensei's the only one that Bortz even likes as well, even remotely. So of course you're going to feel that kind of way. You're going to be like, no, we're not following one of us. They're not one of us. If they oppose you, then I oppose them. Okay, but it seems like we have Sensei talking the other way. There's a strong possibility that the alliance with the moon is only temporary. I suspect Foss's ultimate goal is to rescue all of you from this twisted and primitive world that I have created. To help us evolve, to help us potentially change, to help us do a lot of stuff. We saw that moon technology. Give us some of that, There's a larger, probably psychological thing going on from Sensei, right? Him treasuring this moment with the gems so very much, almost instilling into them this lack of change. This sense of society is this way. It will never change. It is this way for a reason. This is the best way. There's no other way, even without knowing it. Again, because he wants to hold on to this moment too. He doesn't want change. He doesn't want evolution. He wants bliss, which is what he thinks he has. And ultimately, a lot of Sensei's arc during this last little portion has been seeing the error of that, right? Been seeing how he's been holding them back, right? It's almost like parenthood in a weird way. I've been holding back these gems, my children, with me who's so stuck in my ways without realizing that there's this whole other world in front of them that they could go out and explore and have a future in. Therefore, admit it's a fault. Foss is right. Go to the moon, please. And then a big old 2-page spread. Yeah, for sure. This is reading like, to me at least, Dad saying goodbye to kids, Mama Bird pushing little baby chick outside of a nest. Hey, Foss was the first one to do it, but I think you all need to do it in your own way. You all need to change. Maybe the moon is a way to change, you know? The moon, something storytelling-wise, something that's unachievable, something so high in the sky, something that's been like the goal of humanity for such a long time, to get to the moon, to see what's going on up there. So yeah, all that kind of being channeled into this moment here. I really, really like it. I feel like it's really effective. Like the wind coming through too, the winds of change, blowing away the status quo, blowing away what has come before, changing everything forever. What's going on here too? Hang on, I've got to switch my camera back too. Somebody seems to appear out of midair. What is happening? I can't imagine what is happening. Because there's nobody here. They're all still there. All the same characters. Nobody, like, moved. How did this character, like, fucking shadow clone jutsu over here? Okay. Alright, they have hands. Hands confirmed. Everybody's shocked. Everybody's in awe at the hands coming out of the page. It's just Yuke? Yuke got no shoes on? Okay. It's nice to meet you, Congo. I guess this is the important part. We're not calling him Sensei. We're calling him by his government name, which is odd. It's like we're meeting each other again for the first time. No secrets. No, hidden information. No scaries. Just kind of, vibing it out again. I don't know what we're doing here. Yeah, a do-over. Okay. You lived a very long life. It must have been so hard. My name is Euclase, and I suggest a do-over starting today. You're very cheery about it, too. Thank you, Yuke. Okay, and everyone else is watching along with bated breath. The things I have done to you can never be forgiven. There's no way to redo them. If we cut all ties to the past just because it's twisted one, then we will be young and immature forever. If we cut all ties to the past just because it's a twisted one, past being the twisted one in that sentence, I guess? Yeah. Because I have a twisted past, then we'll be young and immature forever. If we forget history, we're doomed to repeat it. That kind of vibe there too, maybe. If we start now and work together as different beings to make up for each other's shortcomings, we should get different results this time. What do you think? Tolerance and equity. Those were held up as ideals in ancient times, but they never lasted long. This guy knows ball. Hell yeah. This is really interesting. It's like you're very, like political about it, Yuke. I kind of like it. I don't know. It's very inspiring. It's very, I don't know how realistic it is. I don't know. Weird. Yeah, here we go. I know what you're trying to say. You think that my idea is a little naive. I cannot make that decision. Oh dear. Well, I still think it's a better idea than Foss's. And then a pause. Would you mind waiting a moment? I haven't used this function in a while. Function? Doesn't work very well. Assuming the correctness of Foss's actions is outside our predictive capabilities, and considering that your proposal is an unprecedented one, befitting future life forms, then, for the time being, I'll allow it. Hooray! Yuke looks very happy here. For sure. Interesting. It's like he goes into, Chat GPT mode or something. He's like, my data says I don't have enough data, so I guess it's okay for the moment. Because you would, as a robot, you would functionally know the correct thing to do. I do think this is a very interesting line, and may talk to what that sixth impact was, right? We held up those ideals of tolerance and equality, but they never held up for long. It always ended in disaster. Maybe a man-made disaster? Maybe a man-made disaster that is kind of repeating itself even now? It's hard to say. Excuse me, what is happening? Then, once again, nice to meet you, Congo. What are you doing here? Before unlocking the kind of elephant in the room down here. What is this? You have like a glove? I don't know what that's all about. That's odd. Either way, it seems like Sensei's going to smite him. He's going to kind of strike Euclase down. Uke! Oh, it was a fake out. It was a head pat. Oh, who could have guessed? I feel like that's pretty obvious. Yeah, what it came out of nowhere if Sensei just decided to crush his head right here and now. I beg your pardon. The official name that was given to me is Kongo Dai Jihisho Jizo Busatsu. What? Okay. I can touch all of you directly without triggering the hypersensitive reaction that shatters you. This is the one thing I intentionally hid from you. I am sorry. Has that been a thing? What? What's this glove technology? I'm completely forgetting that. I didn't know he was wearing gloves. Okay, so he takes off the gloves, and then apparently whenever I touch you without gloves on, I shatter you? But it doesn't work that way. I've been lying. I could have head patted you the entire time, but I didn't. Again, it's a grand metaphor. I was hiding something from you, but it wasn't hiding the true feeling under it either. Like, I don't know. I love you a lot. I guess that's what we're trying to say. By nature, I am more suited to taking a subordinate role. I look forward to working under you. Don't be our subordinate. Be our equal. I've seen your darkness? What the fuck are you talking about, bro? I've seen your darkness. I will try. The hardest thing for me was to act like a leader in front of you all. I think you did a pretty good job. I don't know. Kind of makes Foss seem like the bad guy, no? Just a little bit. He seems kind of chill. I had to make sure I was always scowling. Oh, that's cute. Anyway, Rutiel's freaking out. What are we going to do about Pad Parasha? We'll come up with something. I'm going to the moon. Huh? I don't think I'd like the moon. No moon. I want to start over with Sensei. Stay out of this, pipsqueaks. You're young and have nothing to lose. I have everything to lose, says Rutiel. Okay, Rutiel continues to crash out. Stupid little twerps. Very cool. Oh dear, dear. What about you? I'm staying here. You're not even going to think about it? Blues would say Yuke is right. Yeah, I think Topaz would too. Okay, this is Sphene and Peridot, obviously. These are the two that they've lost. And connecting back to that, that's pretty nice. Okay, we choose to have faith in Yuke. This Yuke thing's really come from nowhere. Yuke is like the other side of the equation now. I didn't really see that coming at all. I'm taking one of you with me. You pick who goes to the moon. Ah! Okay, there's some nonsense going on. Cinnabar's obviously off to the side by his lonesome. Hey! You started to say something before I spoke. No, I didn't. Yuke's going to come up with a plan. Come with me. No, okay. Cinnabar's getting included. Shinsha. Sure. This is what Rutiel used to look like. Yeah. Brings back memories. Obviously, you're feeling nervous about being brought back into the fold by Bortz. Standing toe-to-toe with everybody. I've never been this close to everybody ever. My poison's too poisonous. And yeah, getting a little bit nervous on your tippy toes a little bit. I don't know, just kind of rocking back and forth. Not really feeling too comfortable with everything. Potentially Sensei noticing this. Rutiel is scarier than the Lunarians. Yeah, a little bit. Just, yeah, I guess kind of peering over and looking at Sensei and going, oh yeah, we're still got a thing, I guess. Little connection there between the two. But yeah, hey, you're in the group now. And yeah, Yuke's got this shit. Bortz is feeling inspired. Cinnabar's here too. I feel really good about this. Is Foss the baddies? Are we the baddies? Who's the baddies? Because again, we're going to continue to trust Sensei, I guess, where Sensei's like, I can't tell you what's going on. I'd love to tell you. I can't. Because again, like, it's still the whole I don't pray type thing. And then they want me to pray. But you praying would solve everything. So why don't you pray? That's the question we have to keep asking. He's broken, apparently. Why is he broken? For how long has he been broken? What broke him if he was broken by something? Loads of questions. Still loads of questions, of course. What is Yuke going to do? We're just going to trust Sensei? We're going to have a plan in place? Well, what is Yuke's, like, modus operandi? What is his, like, thing? If we start now and work together as different beings to make up for each other's shortcomings, we should get different results this time. What do you think? Tolerance and equity, working together, all very singing Kumbaya. Yeah, I don't know. I guess. Sure. I feel good about this, though. I'll read it.
Okay, one final time in this short episode where I've added a bunch of things in OBS and made it longer. I wanted to talk about Cinnabar a little bit more, and in comparison to the thing that Foss kind of proposed before, right? Kind of this line that I've been running with. So Foss shows genuine care about finding something that Cinnabar can do in that way, involving Cinnabar in the group, making sure Cinnabar is as loved as everybody else. That's all sweet. That's wonderful. Foss loses the forest for the trees in trying to uncover this whole Sensei thing and evolve and change themselves in that process, that we kind of lose sight of what the original impetus was for that, which was Cinnabar and helping Cinnabar. Like, it goes all the way back to the very start of the manga, all the way back to chapter 2. Foss involving in his strategy a lot of violence and turmoil and trickery and deceit and lots of other things. Generally bad things, doing morally ambiguous things. Compare that to Yuke, who is emphasizing love and tolerance and, equality and, loving each other despite our differences, despite what Sensei has done to us, Sensei up here, despite what he said, right? He's got the best intentions. He still clearly loves us. Let's include him regardless. Let's not toss him aside. Let's forgive and forget in a way where Foss just isn't doing that. Automatically assumes that there must be something wrong here, that there must be some kind of deep, dark deceit behind everything. Sensei withheld this information from us. How could he? He stopped our evolution. So yeah, Yuke, love, tolerance, including people that have wronged us in the past, right? Including people that are outcasts, including people that were different based on information known or ability or whatnot, right? We see that with the big gap here, and we see this with Cinnabar. Look at this. Foss's original goal, getting Cinnabar included, stopping Cinnabar from being an outcast, having a common goal overall, and all sorts of stuff. Something only Cinnabar can do. That's all coming to the fore here. No? Very obviously. Foss, look, back down on Earth, they're accomplishing what you wanted to accomplish the entire time. How do you feel about that? Is this going to elicit any sort of reaction if and when Foss learns about this? What if the one thing that Cinnabar can do is in direct opposition to Foss? Is Foss going to follow through on that, or is Foss going to toss it to the wayside, or whatnot? It's a fascinating conversation, one that I honestly skipped over in the original kind of recording here. So I went back after the fact. So, yeah, Foss, Cinnabar's being included. Wasn't that the whole point? Wasn't that the point of all of this? I don't know. Anyway.
And, I mean, I said we're going to do a lighter week. I'm going to, stand by my word on that, and we're going to leave it there. Obviously, a bit of a lame place to leave it. Apologies, but we are trying to make it a little bit lighter this week for sure. Still recovering from whatever the fuck was going on early in the week too. Was bad without being TMI about it. Yeah, I'll see you next week for more. Clearly a lot of intrigue there, clearly. That's the next big step, Sensei being really honest. There's a lot of interesting stuff with Pad Parasha too. Interesting motive stuff with, obviously, Foss not realizing the whole bargaining to get people back type thing, not asking Acmea for the whole, like, can you fix my friends type deal. He didn't think about doing that until prompted. I feel like that speaks volumes. And yeah, I mean, who knows what's going to happen? I feel like Acme is putting the pressure on, and he's kind of saying, like, hey, you got to get me results, otherwise you know? It's going to be bad. Anyway, we'll see how bad it gets next week. We'll leave it there. Thanks for watching. Discord, like the video, subscribe, all that jazz. And I'll catch you later. Goodbye.